It is essential to be up to date on happenings around you, and to make that easy for you, ladies and gentlemen, we present Freshlight, where we bring fresh newspaper headlines to the limelight. Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Watch, like, subscribe, and make sure your notification is activated on our YouTube channel. You can also like and comment on our pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Al-IyamoyeTv and radio.
The fourth date, I beg your pardon, in the month of July 2023. Beautiful Tuesday morning right here on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio, and I'm sure it is a beautiful one right here on the other side watching this video and of course this program. It's Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. This is where we take you through different stories and headlines, and we look into the stories on the front pages of newspapers this morning. And of course, my name is MODUPE AKINYOSOYE. Without further ado, let's kickstart Freshlight this morning, reviewing a couple of the stories we have in our different newspapers. I have the Nigerian Tribune, I have the Sun newspaper, I have the Vanguard newspaper, and I have the Punch newspaper. We start with the Punch newspaper. From the front page of the Punch newspaper, we have the biggest headline right here saying retired generals set agenda as Tinubu meets service chiefs with double riders. Here saying criminal activities going down. Tinubu picked best and says Ribadu. Retired generals asked service chiefs to cooperate and warn against interference. You get that very story on page 2 in the Punch newspaper. Away from that, we also have from the front page, CBN intervenes as more POS operators implement rate hike. You get the details of that on page 15 in the Punch newspaper. Also from the Punch newspaper, on minority leader, PDP writes Apabio over nominations. Page 2 also captures that very story. Electric vehicle, NMPCL plans fueling stations, charging ports. You also get the details of that on page 15 in the Punch newspaper. UTME top scorer's dad declares daughter innocent. Innocent demands probe. You also get the details of that update on page 8 in the Punch newspaper. Away from that, single moms Lagos businessman circulates more nude photos. 4 and 5 captures that metro story. And away from that, we also have Taj Bank profit rises by 300%, pays dividend. Page 19 captures that story. And of course, you get to see a big picture right in front on the front page of the Punch newspaper, revealing President Bola Tinubu after a meeting with security chiefs in Abuja on Monday. Going through the stories from the Punch newspaper this morning, let's get to see a couple of the stories from the Punch newspaper. All right, we start with this very story. Retired generals set agenda as Tinubu meets service chiefs. Retired generals on Monday set an agenda for the new service chiefs on how they can overcome the security challenges confronting the country. And speaking against the backdrop of the insurgency in the northeast, banditry in the northwest, and other criminal activities and killings across the country, the former military officers admonished the security chiefs to study their predecessors and improve on their weaknesses. The ex-servicemen handed down the advice hours after the security chiefs held a meeting with President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa, where he charged them to work with National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu and the Acting Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun as a team to address insecurity. And Monday's meeting was Tinubu's first known in-person engagement with the security heads since their appointment on June 19. From the Punch newspaper, retired generals set agenda as Tinubu meets service chiefs. Away from that, we also have an update right here on the UTME top scorer controversy. UTME top scorer's dad declares daughter innocent. Innocent demands probe. Mr. Romanus Ejikeme, father of Ejikeme Mesoma, who the Joint Admission Matriculation Board accused of manipulating a unified tertiary matriculation examination result, has defended our daughter, saying she is innocent of the allegation against her. And this was as the founder of Innocent Motors, Innocent Chukuma, who had offered Mesoma 3 million naira scholarship, demanded a probe. And JAMB had, in a statement on Sunday, accused Mesoma, who hails from Anambra State, of manually inflating her UTME score from 249 to 362, and thus parading herself as the 2023 UTME top scorer. And in a statement by its spokesman, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, JAM said it found the case of Mesoma particularly pathetic, as she had allegedly hoodwinked unsuspecting members of the public, including a businessman, Innocent Chukuma, who offered her 3 million naira in scholarship while a state honor was being planned to celebrate her. From the Punch, you get the rest of that update. UTME top scorer star declares daughter innocent. Innocent demands probe. And away from that, we have an update from the health pages of the Punch newspaper. FCTA confirms outbreak of diphtheria in Abuja. The Federal Capital Territory has announced the outbreak of diphtheria in parts of the city of Abuja. The FCT Director, Public Health Department, Dr. Sadiq Abdurrahman, announced the outbreak at a news conference on Monday in Abuja. Abdurrahman, while addressing the news conference, said the disease had already killed a 4-year-old, adding that outbreaks earlier recorded in Lagos, Ondo, and Kano states in January had triggered a national response by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. And diphtheria is an infection caused by strains of a bacteria known as Corynebacterium diphtheriae, which produces toxins that cause difficulty in breathing and heart rhythm problems and could lead to death. The rest of that in the Punch newspaper. FCTA confirms outbreak of diphtheria in Abuja. Away from that health story, we have this very story from the business page of the Punch newspaper. CBN intervenes as more POS operators implement rate hike. Central Bank of Nigeria has said it will intervene to resolve issues around the new charges adopted by point-of-sale operators in Nigeria. Already, point-of-sale agents are meeting with stakeholders across the country to agree on changes in transaction charges for POS services, and this is following increases in POS charges across Lagos, Ogun, and Edo State. And this was disclosed to the Punch by the National Public Relations Officer Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria, Oluwasegun Elegbede. And according to him, other states are working to follow in Lagos' footsteps and increase transaction charges. On Friday, June 30, the PRO Amban Lagos chapter, Stephen Adeoye, declared on Channels Television's Business Morning program that the association has come up with a new price list for POS agents operating in the state. CBN intervenes as more POS operators implement rate hike. Away from that, we also have this story from the business page as well. Bank of America wants Nigeria inflation may eat 30%. The Bank of America has said the Monetary Policy Committee of the central bank may need to increase interest rates by at least 700 basis points before the end of the year to curb inflation. In an interview with Bloomberg on Monday, the bank's sub-Saharan Africa economist Tatonga Roseke said the hike was necessary to tackle soaring inflation occasioned by the fuel subsidy removal and unification of foreign exchange. And Roseke explained that at the current trend, inflation will quicken to 30% by the end of the year from 22.4% in May, noting that the nation's apex bank may need to push up the rate. From the Punch, Bank of America wants Nigeria inflation may eat 30%. Quickly taking this foreign story from the Punch, 4 killed in U.S. mass shooting in Philadelphia. At least 4 people were killed and 2 children wounded in a mass shooting Monday night in the U.S. city of Philadelphia. Police said the latest chapter in the country's gun violence crisis, and those killed were all males aged between 20 and 59. Philadelphia Police Commissioner Daniel Outlaw told journalists while the 2 children wounded were aged 2 and 13. Police apprehended the suspected shooter, a 40-year-old who was wearing a bulletproof vest and was armed with a rifle and a handgun near the scene of the shooting in the city's King Cecil neighborhood, Outlaw said. 4 killed in U.S. mass shooting in Philadelphia, from the Punch newspaper. And back to Nigeria with the Punch newspaper. Presidential Tribunal adjourns INEC defense to July 4. The Presidential Petition Election Court has adjourned to Tuesday, July 4, the hearing of the defense filed by the Independent National Electoral Commission, and the court on June 23 fixed Monday, July 3 for respondents to open their case in defense of the petition filed by aggrieved parties challenging the outcome of the February 25 election, wherein Bola Tinubu emerged as the president. Presidential Tribunal adjourns INEC's defense to July 4, from the Punch. Away from the Punch newspaper, let's see what the Sun newspaper has for us. We'll start with the front page of the Sun newspaper. Tinubu talks tough on security challenge, with rider charges service chiefs to fix problem and demand synergy among them and NSA. Page 6 captured the story. No 1 week sit at home in Southeast, IPOB revealing that on page 27. Senate representatives resume today to elect principal office and officers. Page 26 captured that. Also on the UTME score, Anambra government investigates a GKMA's JAMB result. Page 29 captures the details of that. PDP court voids Namani's expulsion with a rider. You get the details of that on page 28 in the Daily Sun newspaper. Lawal Matawali crisis. Tinubu asks Yerima to intervene. Page 6 capture that. Tinubu promises business community policy sustainability. You get that with a rider on page 25 in the Daily Sun. Also from the front page of the Daily Sun newspaper, from presidential poll, President and INEC kick as court admits European Union report in Atiku's petition, with a rider that says Tinubu and APC open defense on Atiku today. Page 6 as the details of that. And also from the front page, Igbo leaders set agenda for Southeast governors. So that's from page 6 in the Daily Sun newspaper. Just giving you a couple of stories from the Daily Sun newspaper. We start with a report. Tinubu charges service chiefs to fix security challenge and demand synergy among them and NSA. President Bola Tinubu yesterday met with the nation's service for the first time since their appointment and charged to work as a teamwork to deliver on their assigned responsibilities. And President Tinubu had appointed new service chiefs on June 19. President Tinubu had retired all the security chiefs, including the IGP, who served in the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. He also approved the replacement of the Controller General of Customs. From the Sun, Tinubu charges service chiefs to fix security challenge, demand synergy among them, says NSA. Away from that, also from this Daily Sun newspaper, Tinubu and INEC kick as court admits European Union final report in evidence in Atiku's petition. The Presidential Election Petition Court, PEPC, yesterday admitted in evidence a certified true copy of a final report by the European Union Electoral Observer Mission on the 2023 general elections. The mission accredited 110 observers from 25 EU member states, as well as Norway, Switzerland, and Canada. The report admitted that, marked as Exhibit RA6, said the February 25 election exposed enduring systemic weaknesses and therefore signal a need for further legal and operational reforms to enhance transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability. And both President Bola Tinubu, his political party, All Progressives Congress, and Independent National Electoral Commission had objected to the admissibility of the report, which was tendered by Atiku Abubakar and the People's Democratic Party. From the Daily Sun, Tinubu and INEC kick as court admits EU final report in evidence in Atiku's petition. And quickly, Tinubu assures investors of policy consistency. President Bola Tinubu has assured the global business community of his administration's commitment to policy consistency and better investment climate. According to Special Advisor, Special Duties, Communication and Strategy, Dele Alake, the president gave the assurance when he received the delegation of the Shell Petroleum Development Company, led by the Global Upstream Director, Ms. Zohe Junovic. It welcomed the SPDC's offer for more investment in the Nigerian oil and gas sector, stressing that such investments were needed now more than ever to enable government to meet its obligations to the people. Tinubu assures investors of policy consistency. The Daily Sun captures that. Away from the Daily Sun, let's quickly see what the Vanguard newspaper has for us. From the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, we have this very big headline on insecurity. We will secure Nigeria, NSA assures, with several riders, and it's captured on page 5 in the Vanguard. Away from that, we also have banks borrowing from CBN intensifies, rises 140% to 10.35 trillion naira. Page 19 captures that business story. Away from that, we also have from the front page of the Vanguard, NBA to sue federal government over vehicles proof of ownership fee. Page 8 captures that. Negotiates with bandits, ex-governor Yerima urges Tinubu. Page 13 has that very story. Away from that, we also have on Ayaskora Debacle, Jamb Mesoma trade words over result. That's also captured on page 7. On presidential tribunal, INEC not ready to defend its case, says Labour Party's lawyer. Page 9 captures that. Away from that, also from the Vanguard front page. On the 10th National Assembly, tension over principal officers as lawmakers resume today. Page 27 captures that. Also on open defecation, Nigeria needs 3.9 million toilets annually, says UNICEF. Page 13. As the details, also we have an headline here. 53 years after civil war, Southeast needs new direction. Igbo leaders of thought revealing that on page 11 in the Vanguard. 9 rescued, 11 trapped as four-story hotel building collapses in Abuja. The rather sad and unfortunate story. You get the details of that on page 8 in the Vanguard. Away from that, bread producers serve notice of imminent hike in price. You get the details of that on page 20 in the Vanguard. And the sport headline here says, Osimhen hints at Napoli stay. Page 30 captures that sports story. Quickly going through the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And we'll start with, we start with the insecurity. We will secure Nigeria, NSA assures. The National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, yesterday assured President Bola Tinubu and the entire country that security agencies will accomplish the objective of securing the country as well as reestablish peace and stability. Ribadu was responding to the president's charge that they should work as a team to deliver on the mandate of dealing with the protracted security challenges in the country. On insecurity, we will secure Nigeria. NSA assures Nigeria. And quickly taking this very story as well. Okay, coming to the Gateway State. Ogun begins conversion of buses, motorcycles, tricycles to gas and electricity in August. Ogun State Governor Prince Dakwabione said yesterday that e-mobility and gas mobility program of the state will take off in the first week of August. The governor also said his administration will take advantage of the newly signed electricity bill that regulates the power sector by establishing a company that will generate and distribute power supply in the state. Ogun begins conversion of buses and motorcycles and tricycles to gas and electricity in August. That in the Vanguard newspaper. And quickly, also, NBA to sue federal government over vehicles proof of ownership fee. The Nigerian Bar Association section on public interest law, NBA Spidel, has set up a team to examine the legality of the federal government's imposition of 1,000 naira annual proof of ownership fee on vehicle owners. The government had, through the Joint Tax Board, recently come up with a policy making it compulsory for 1,000 naira to be paid annually on each vehicle in the country for the new renewal of proof of ownership certificate. The rest of that you get to see in the Vanguard newspaper. NBA to sue federal government over vehicles proof of ownership fee. And quickly going through the Nigerian Tribune newspaper before we call it a day on Freshlight this morning. From the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, we have presidential election. PUPC admits EU observer mission report with several riders, triple riders to be precise. That will be found on page 16 in the Nigerian Tribune. Minority parties yet to pick leaders, and PDP tells Aphabio. You get that on page 15. On market survey, basket of tomatoes rises to 100,000 naira. The ridiculous story from page 4 in the Nigerian Tribune. Residents shot Trademore Estate in Abuja. Protest planned demolition. Page 26 captures that. 2 missing Sao Tome fishermen rescued in Bayelsa. Page 25 captures our metro story. Let's get our lives back, Ribadi says after security chiefs meeting with Tinubu. Page 5 captures that. 9 rescued, many trapped as 4-story building collapses in Abuja. Page 25 as well captures that. 1 dead as FCTA raises the alarm over outbreak of diphtheria disease. That's also resurfacing. Page 26 captures that. And also on the jam saga, I didn't forge my UTME result. I printed 362 score from Jam Portal, says Imesoma with several riders. And you get the details of that on page 3 in the Nigerian Tribune. And because of a time restraint, we can't go further. Of course, thank you so much. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and a YouTube channel, Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Like, comment, subscribe, and of course turn on your alarm bell to update you on any of our programs that is meant for you to enjoy. I remain MODUPE AKINYOSOYE. Good morning once again.